So let's just talk about drama first. Let's just have a nice drama day. In case you're wondering, this will be the last time I say this. I promise. The patches will be for sale next week. The only reason why they're not for sale right now is that I am evaluating the security of the site, because people are going to be putting in shipping addresses and stuff, and I'm making sure that it all works. I'm doing testing, and I'm a little bit nervous about it because it's like if the fucking sale gets botched, that's a big problem. So I'm taking it quite seriously, and hopefully by Monday I'll be confident in what I have. I'm having people look at it and stuff. So Monday is the start of the sale. There are 500 patches in stock, so if you order a patch in the first 500, you will not have to wait for production, unlike a lot of the other sales that I do. And they should be shipped out pretty fast. I just have to set shipping fees and stuff. So let's see. Let's just talk about the random shit. Have some fun. Have a nice relaxing day. First things first. Starting off strong. Starting off very strong. Ethan Klein. I have like Pavlov conditioning. Whenever I say Ethan Klein, I've been trained by this live stream that I do to start laughing immediately. Ethan Klein said this about Ben Shapiro.
I was just gonna say, if there's another Holocaust and people start rounding up the Jews, I just say if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets gassed first.
So Ben Shapiro is who he's talking about. Ben Shapiro is Jewish. Ethan Klein is Jewish. I want to say that they're both Israeli American dual citizens. Ben Shapiro replies to this and says to Ethan Klein, "If there were another Holocaust, I would hope that Ethan and his family escaped, but maybe that's just me." And then he follows this up a couple minutes later by saying, "Soft-pedaling genocidal terror group Hamas and lying about the IDF while chortling over which Jews go first in the next Holocaust." And this is a retweet of a older message from Ethan Klein from 2021 to be exact, May 2021. And he says this about the Israeli government. It says, "The Israeli government is making me sick, even if Hamas is," and if you don't know, Hamas is technically democratically elected, and this is why it's like such a big issue. Is that they wanted democracy for the Palestinians, who have obviously a land dispute with Israel, and the Palestinians elected Hamas, which is effectively a terror organization, and that's the big conflict, is that Hamas is the presiding party, and I guess it's debated if they're technically democratically elected, but I'm pretty sure that their elections are mostly fair. But anyways, it says, "Even if Hamas is operating out of a civilian building, it doesn't justify the total destruction of that building. It's inhumane. Netanyahu is a piece of shit, warmonger, and needs to go. As a dual citizen, I love Israel and the Israeli people," a line that I say very often, so me and Ethan Klein are on the same page with this. "They deserve a government that actually believes in peace and not force and violence. The ultra-right Jewish settlers are among the greatest provocateurs in the world. They are shameless and hateful, fueled by religious zeal, and enabled by the Israeli government. I wish the settling and repossession of Palestinian land would stop. I wish the bombing in Gaza would stop. Gazans deserve to live a life free of fear. For all the crimes Hamas has committed, we must always remember that they are not Palestine. The Israeli government holds all the power, and it is on them to stop the violence and show a willingness for peace." So this is Ethan Klein's statement. Ben Shapiro takes issue with this because there's a split between like Israeli Jews, American Jews that are pro Israeli government, and then American Jews that are anti-Israeli government. And Ben Shapiro and Ethan Klein are kind of the epitomes of the American Jews on both sides. because they're both dual citizens. They both have very strong opinions about Israel, but they're all at the same time they're American Jews, and their lives are effectively completely divorced from what happens in Israel. So they kind of get the best of both worlds, and Israeli Jews kind of stub their very long noses at the American Jews, because it's like, okay, so you're gonna do the Hebrew thing, and you're gonna enjoy the benefits of being Jewish, but you're gonna do it from the safety of the United States. And then you're going to cast these very strong opinions about our government and our leadership and the settlers and the Palestine conflict, but you're not going to live here. You're not going to, live the conflict. So a little bit of insight on that, and why Ethan Klein perhaps has such strong opinions about Ben Shapiro. Now, in case you're wondering, no, you are not the first person to make the joke about another Holocaust. Everybody else has done that. That joke appears on every single page of the Ethan Klein thread after this. And, it's very strange that, in case I don't know about you guys, but I found it particularly strange that Ethan Klein has such negative opinions about the Israeli Defense Force and the military operations happening in Palestine, because you don't know, this is Ethan Klein's wife. Now, she served in the IDF. So I don't know if this is a slight directed at her or what. It's very confounding to me, chat. So you have to make people wonder if I'm gonna forget where you whipped it out. So that's the remark. I think. Oh, God, how did I even forget this? If I go to Ethan Klein's Twitter page, which I will do only through Knitter because browsing Twitter is a fucking nightmare. He says, and this is Ethan Klein talking about the backlash to his tweets about how Ben Shapiro should be the first to go in a second Holocaust. He says, if you white supremacists, like Ben Shapiro, I guess. No, actually, he clarifies this. I can't make that joke. If you white supremacists successfully lobbied YouTube to suspend me, a Jewish dual citizen of Israel and the USA, for anti-Semitism, Ben Shapiro and friends can virtue signal all they want, but ultimately they are the ones platforming dangerous anti-Semites. All I did was point it out. You also said that he should be gassed if there's there's a second Holocaust. A bit of a downplay there. Of course, he only got suspended from YouTube. He didn't get banned. I'm trying to be fair to him. I don't want to just hate on Ethan Klein because it's extremely easy to do that. It's fun to play devil's advocate and try to understand. But like, if a black person went on YouTube and went on a podcast on YouTube and said, if they reinstituted slavery, you should be the first black ass that gets lynched. Like, you're still going to get in trouble for that, even if you're black yourself. Even if you're a black American that's been around, has a family lineage going all the way back to slavery in the United States. Like, that's still something that people are going to take issue with saying. Like Kanye. I did talk about that yesterday. Or last week. I don't have to cover that. He, by the way, speaking just very briefly about Kanye, he backtracked. He went on Fox News and said, I'm sorry, massa. I didn't mean to say nothing about the Jews. No way, no how. I was having my mentals, and that's why I said the things that I did, and I swear I'll never say them again. So, very, very sad. Poor Kanye. So, let me continue reading this. Ben Shapiro, who was happy to perform a purity test on me and declare me a bad Jew for criticizing Israel, holds Candace, Hitler just wanted to make Germany great again. I mean, he did. That is a factually true statement. Hitler wanted to make Germany great again. That's literally what his platform was, the party's platform. So she's not wrong. In case you don't know, Candace Owens is black. I talked about her last stream. Fuck it. Candace Owens on his website, The Daily Wire, he is constantly excusing, enabling, and platforming real anti-Semitism. I forgot to mention that it's very funny that Ethan Klein, complains about deplatforming. Or if you don't remember, like a couple of weeks ago, he had a certain fart fetishist, a disgusting, perverted, narcissistic, pill-popping fart fetishist on his platform to openly gloat and gallivant about deplatforming other people he disagreed with. So now that the shoe's on the other foot, it's really, I mean, it's just so like blatant. Like this guy does not give a fuck about deplatforming, except for the fact that now he has to miss a couple shows and miss a couple, and it's not even like the money that he's gonna miss. It's like the just the fact that they made, because Susan probably personally emailed him and said, "Hey, Ethan, I totally agree about the whole gassing Ben Shapiro thing. We understand each other. You're one of my favorite people. We met in real life a couple times. You know how it is. But the outrage is really loud, so we have to do a token thing and suspend you for 1 week. I'm very sorry about the inconvenience, but," and Ethan's like, "Oh, fuck. It's total bullshit that I'm held accountable to anything that I say like any other people are. I'm Jewish. I'm Ethan Klein. Not even that I'm Jewish. It's like, I'm Ethan Klein. I'm a famous person living in LA. I know so much more than anybody else. How can they suspend me?" It's bullshit. So that's his mentality. He's kvetching about it. But then he goes on to say, "The joke that I was suspended for simply points out that Ben, who is desperate to be accepted by his Christian nationalist friends as white, lowercase w, will only be seen by them as a useful idiot and, sadly for him, a Jew, capital J. The people reporting me, except Ben," which is why I clarified when I started reading this that he doesn't lump them in together. He does like personally divorce Ben from the white nationalists. "The people reporting me except Ben are tiki torch carrying white Christian nationalists. They do not give a fuck about anti-Semitism or Jewish people. They revel in the fact that YouTube and other institutions are so quick to act on bad faith and malicious outrage." That's true, to be fair. They are currently the greatest... Oh, this is the worst. "They are currently the greatest beneficiaries of cancel culture." Did you guys know that? That we are the greatest beneficiaries of cancel culture? As a white person, I enjoy my cancel culture privilege so much. I can count all the many times that my cancel culture privilege has swung my way. I remember when there were a bunch of disgusting perverts peddling drugs to children and openly gloating about it and receiving $100,000 for doing so. I remember when I cancel cultured them and they were actually arrested for their crimes. I remember when this happened. It was very distinct. And then the people also committing cyber crimes against me and my website were also held accountable. And I was able to sue Cloudflare for defaming me as hosting a website that promotes terrorism and death threats. I remember when all this cancel culture that works one way and one way only was going completely in my favor. It was very, very memorable when all this happened. They are currently the greatest beneficiaries of cancel culture, identity politics, and moral outrage. It's incredible that they have become the party of quote-unquote free speech, while decrying and lobbying for my deplatforming. They both condemn and defend cancel culture in the same breath. I, unlike many people who would dismiss me as woke, have spent hundreds of thousands actively fighting to strengthen our First Amendment. Our First Amendment lawsuit against Matt Haas has been published on copyright.gov as a seminal case for fair use and is often cited in legal brief. He spelled cited wrong. It should be a CI. And that is true. His lawsuit against Matt Haas is case law, and it's a very strong proponent for fair use. I have to give him credit. That's a true statement as well. However, that does not excuse him in his fucking disgusting crusades against absolutely everyone all the fucking time. Which I think that it's coincidental that he established case law. It's not something he was actually setting out to do. Our current lawsuits with Ryan Kavanaugh seeks to accomplish the same. I will not back down or be silenced by bad faith provocateurs. I make no apology. As Ben Shapiro says, facts don't care about your feelings, if only he meant it. And I, once again, humbly request that all naysayers, haters, detractors, and fallen fans alike suck my tiny Jewish dick. Thank you. An incredibly Jewish post. Oh, even retweeted a nice Vouch tweet here. Vouch is saying here, you don't understand Ben's point. Dark humor about the Holocaust is unacceptable, but promoting the ideology that led to the Holocaust is totally okay. I hope this helps. What ideology does Ben Shapiro promote that that led to the Holocaust? Like, what is it? Nationalism? I don't think nationalism alone led to the Holocaust. I don't know. I don't listen to Ben Shapiro. I don't really have an informed opinion about his politics. Actually, let me see if I can find something real quick. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to find this. It's very funny though. Oh wait, it's PragerU. Oh no, this is like the actual video. I just want like the 30-second clip. There's a very, very funny PragerU clip that I'm not going to be able to find just the funny bit of. But it's a guy, and he's like a former Department of Defense higher up, and he's doing a speech, and he's like, I often get asked the question why we spend so much money on Israel. The truth is, we don't spend enough. And when you first hear this, you like laugh out loud. You like bust out laughing. Like, okay, that's a bold statement. I'm sure you're gonna swing a lot of people with that kind of balls outness about it. Anything else about this from? Oh, this is okay. So Ethan strikes back from 8 November 2011. Ben Shapiro says, the Jewish people have always been plagued by bad Jews who undermine it from within. In America, those bad Jews largely vote Democrat. And Ethan Klein says, this is the man who accuses me of being anti-Semitic. In Ben Shapiro's defense, this is hard. I'm trying to play lawyer for both Ben Shapiro and Ethan Klein here and try to be fair to both of them. He's not saying that we should kill them. If he was saying like we should if there was a Holocaust, we should gas all the Democratic Jews, that would be a different kind of take, I think. He says that we'll miss a show because of this stupid joke. Why can't you just do it off YouTube? Am I retarded? Like, you can just do that off YouTube, right? Okay, whatever. I'm done. I'm haunted by this fucking face, which follows me no matter where I'm looking on this thing. I just can't stand it anymore. He's like he's like that fat goat man from Hercules. He's just got this smug, chubby expression that I kind of hold contempt for.